Hey, what's up, guys? This is Eat Me Peaches, and I've got something kind of special for you today. This is my first handgun purchase. It is a Ruger SR40. See the 40 Smith & Wesson Ruger right there. I've never done any tabletop reviews or anything before, but this got me excited. This is my favorite gun that I've ever shot so far. I've shot other guns such as the 9.2 FS, some 40 caliber handguns, some 45, Colt 45, 357 Magnum, and honestly, this one is probably my favorite out of all of them. I don't know if it'll zoom in, you can see the SR40 right there, silver, there's a hair on there. The thing I like about the 40 versus the 45 or the 9mm is the 40 has a little bit of snap to it. It's got a kick, it's got the power. It's not as light as 9. And I don't know, 45, when I shoot, it seems kind of sluggish. I don't know if anyone else gets that feeling with 45 or not. But I don't know, the 40, you can see the sight, the front sight, kind of just bouncing up and down right in your vision. I get really tight groupings with this. It's a very nice, accurate gun for a handgun. Some safety features on it that a lot of guns don't have. I don't know if you noticed, but there is a second trigger here. What it does is, I guess Ruger had some problems when they first released the SR9, where if it was loaded and dropped on the back, the firing pin could ignite the cartridge in the chamber and set it off. So they have this extra little trigger here so that the firing pin won't move unless this is pulled down with the trigger also. It's also got a loaded chamber indicator up here, which I don't know, a lot of people on YouTube, they show this, but they don't really show what it looks like when the gun is loaded. So what I'm going to do is I'm not actually going to load the gun, but I do have an empty shell here from another day when I went to the range, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in the slide. Chamber check, just make sure it's empty. We're all good. There we go, had to zoom in a bit. You can see there's nothing in there. I do have an empty magazine in the gun right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put this empty shell in the barrel. Just release the slide. And you can see that with a casing in the chamber, the flag is up saying that there is something in there. I don't know if I can get this right, but I gotta get up closer. There we go, that's the sight picture. It's pretty nice, to be honest, the 3 dots. The other guns I've shot, usually it's just the plain black. It's kind of hard to see, especially if you're at night or in a darker environment. The 3 white dots definitely help with getting a quick alignment on your shot. One of the revolvers I have has an orange front sight, black post on top, and that's nice too, but the 3 of the same color, it's really easy to get it lined up quickly, accurately, and get right on your target. When you shoot, the recoil, what they did with the SR40 compared to the SR9 is they added a little thickness up here in the side. I don't know if you can see, it kind of protrudes out from the frame a bit, but they added a thicker stainless steel slide. It adds more weight on the slide, so it gives you less of a kick or recoil when you're firing, which is nice. I don't mind the added weight. This is still one of the lightest polymer 40 caliber handguns out there. I actually have Ruger's website pulled up on my computer over here. There it goes. You can see all the stats. 40, whatever, adjustable 3-dot, the length, width, height, grooves. Here you can see the different configurations. They have a stainless steel, alloy steel, and the alloy steel is black. They use black nitride. It's kind of a blued finish. It looks really nice, but I wanted the stainless steel. I've had problems in the past with guns being in storage, too moist of an environment, and it ruins the gun. What you can see here, though, is 27.25 ounces. That is really light. And I'm telling you, if you're going to be carrying this thing around all day, have it as like a sidearm in your pocket, you're going to want something that's light. It won't weigh you down. If it's not your primary gun, you're going to want that. Another thing is you can see now the trigger is in a different position than before. It has reset since the slide has been cocked. It doesn't take much, only about half an inch or so. I'm going to go ahead and eject that shell casing. And it does lock the slide back with an empty mag. Pretty much all the guns do that. But I'm going to put this back. Move the slide forward. You actually get a lot when you buy this gun. I was kind of surprised with the accessories it comes with. Of course, it does come with this nice... this is a metal mag. It's not polymer. You do get the polymer bottom. Wait for it to focus. You do have round indicators here. You get your even numbers on this side, 4 through 14. On this side, you have your odd numbers, 5 through 15. Nothing on the back like the Glocks, which honestly I kind of would have preferred that. The Glocks do have very nice magazines, very good indication of how many rounds you have. I do have a loaded magazine over here, so I'm going to go ahead and get that. This is the loaded magazine. You can see there all 15 rounds there, and you can see the brass in there. I do notice sometimes it's not as thorough with each round being noticeable. You can see on this side the even numbers. It's kind of hard to tell, but the casing isn't lined up with the hole. Casings are only lined up with the holes on this side because you have an auto mount in there. Got some nice 40 caliber hollow points in here, jacketed hollow points, pretty nice. They're expensive. They run about $18, $19 a box of 50, which that's one of the downsides of owning 40, 45, 357. They're all expensive rounds. If you want to go for like a cheap, nice handgun, something you can shoot at without wasting too much money, you're probably going to want to get a 9. But I prefer the 40 just because honestly I like shooting 40. I like the power, and if I was ever in a home defense situation where I would need to protect myself, I'd want to have the performance of a 40 caliber handgun over that of a 9. So on top of the 2 magazines you get with your handgun, it also comes with this magazine loader, which I don't really use it much now. They're not really manly hands, but they're strong enough. But when you get a brand new magazine, the spring's not worn yet, it does help a lot. Take a bullet out here and show you what it does. Oh, rolled off the table. It slides on the magazine like this. And one sec while the camera focuses. It takes the round and it pushes it down for you, so you can go ahead, slide this round in. It gets in just a bit. Take this out. And you can push the round in the rest of the way, whatever. Anyways, there you go. All the rounds in there. It'd be easier to do if it's standing up like this. It's a lot easier to get it on there and kind of push it down. I have all 15 rounds in there right now, so it's not going to do it that nicely as opposed to with a near empty mag or empty mag. Oh, there it go, finally focused. This is being recorded with a cell phone, so with the autofocusing issue, I do like the autofocus, but it can be a bit slow at times, especially with the awkward lighting situation I have. Kind of just not a desktop with a lamp. So let's go ahead and put this away. Another thing that Ruger gives you, Ruger's very good about safety. That's why they don't have any like extended mag options for this yet. It is a 15+1 capability, which honestly is probably all you're ever going to need. They do give you this giant monster of a slide lock option for it. I don't have my keys on me right now, or I'd show you what this does, but essentially you lock the slide back. It goes in through the top of the chamber down the handguard, and what it does is it keeps the slide lock back. You can't load a magazine. You can't do anything with the slide until you remove this lock. But I keep this lock for locking other things. You know, it looks nice, it's pretty, it's got the nice Ruger logo emblem on it. I don't know, it's a nice lock, I just don't need it. It's also got like a rubber finish on the metal U. And it comes with a nice little box to hold it all. I'll show you. There's the box that it all comes with. I have the lock here, magazine loader here. I have it in the casing over here. Here's the magazine. They go right in there, just like so. And then of course your gun fits right in here, and I'm not sure really what this is for, but you know, whatever. Alright, back to the gun. So I've talked about the trigger safety, the slide indicator right here, loaded chamber. Another nice thing about this is you can see this is a centerfire system. When you pull the trigger, you can actually see the pin move back and then snap forward. When you cock it back a little, you don't need to do much to reset the trigger or the firing pin. But you can see it right there when it focuses. You can see it kind of set in there, come back, and drop forward. That's really nice. You don't really need it too much, but it's just a nice little feature to have. Also, this rack to slide again. This ambidextrous kind of 1911 style safety. I noticed when I first got the gun, first started playing around with it, the safety was difficult to engage and disengage. It's a really small little pad here. You don't have much room, but when you're in proper stance, you can use your thumb. It's easy to flick down. I just kind of use my knuckle to flick it up. It's got the little nice red indication saying that the safety's off. Slide release is just on this side, so if you're a left-handed shooter, you might have problems with that. You got nothing over here. Also, this engages on the right side. But another nice little feature on this is the ambidextrous magazine release. You have the button here. It's easy to push. You got it on both sides right here. There you go. And for comfort, ergonomics, this gun, how it came out of the box, was probably the most comfortable gun for me. It's got a very thin profile, very thin width of the grip, which I have really small hands. I pretty much have girl hands, and it's really nice. Another little feature that they added is this this rubber back strap right here. You can remove it. I have it set to the curved setting right now, but you can take it off. You just you push this pin out, remove it, slide it back on, and it's flat. So you've got this little push pin right here. Go ahead and push that out a bit. Comes out on this side. You can probably get it by hand. If not, just use a set of pliers or something. I'm gonna get a pair. Got this pair of pliers. Gonna go ahead and pull this out. This is just a nice little kind of multi-tool my friend gave me. So you can see here you got this little metal push pin for the grip. While it focuses. It's small, it is metal, it's nice. But if you take the pin out, you can take this rubber strap and just slide it down and get your finger up in there. Slide it down. It can be a little difficult sometimes, but it slides out like so, and you can see it's got those little notches on the side, but it is textured on both sides. You can see in there's enough room when it focuses. So you can have it curved like I had. You can flip it around, place it in, and you do get a flat profile, which can be nice, but for me, I like to have a little something there, bottom of my grip, which I only get with the curved profile. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back on, put the pin back in. Alright. Now the takedown of this gun, it's really quick and simple. It doesn't take much effort. It's not as simple as a Glock, of course. Glocks are always going to have the quickest takedowns. But what you do is magazine's out, slide the thing back, and this part right here needs to come out of the gun. So if you go ahead and flip it over on the other side, you got this little push pin area right here, and you can use a push pin or something, or a pen. For the first few times you do it, it can be a bit difficult, but it does get a lot easier the more you take it apart. So you can just do that by hand. Come over to this side, pull it out. That's what it looks like. All focuses. There we go. And there is inside here. It's hard to see it. There you go. This thing right here, the ejector. You go ahead and just flick that down, like so. There you go. And then go ahead and release the slide, and it should slide right off. This part right here, the whole trigger assembly and frame, this is really light. Most of the mass of the gun comes in this stainless steel slide barrel spring. This is nice. Just pull out the spring, the barrel comes right out. It's really simple. Go ahead and put that back in. Right here. Another feature I forgot to mention earlier is this does have adjustable sights. They're fully adjustable. The rear sight is for windage and elevation, and the front sight is adjustable for windage as well. You can push that to the side and stuff. 3-dot sights, barrel. The textured grip, the textured slide also really helps for racking the slide. If you have maybe your hands are a little slippery or something, you're not going to have problems. You're not going to have problems racking the slide. It's pretty easy. When you put it back together, it's the same way as putting it apart. You go ahead in here, flip the ejector back up. You don't necessarily need to do that. The slide will still close with the ejector down, and it'll go back up once again. If you put a magazine there, it replaces the ejector back here. Another thing is, this is a really huge shell extractor. I guess that's good. You know, it's healthy to have something big. You know it's going to work. I don't know if it necessarily needs to be that big, but maybe there was some design issues they had and they needed a larger one. I will do a video later about getting the trigger assembly out. You replace your trigger reset bar, something I know Ghost Rocket has some nice ones. They lower the trigger pull and the travel. But the trigger on this gun is not loaded. The trigger on this is very nice. It's a light trigger. It's got a little solid click, very light reset. I can't really show it right now because the trigger doesn't reset unless the slide is racked. But I don't know. It feels comfortable. It's a very comfortable trigger. It's not too heavy, not too light. Something weird about myself and this firearm. I did get this handgun when I was 19. And a lot of you are probably like, whoa, 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 you can't get a handgun until you're 21. That's illegal. You shouldn't have that. And actually, that's not true. You can't buy a handgun for yourself unless you're 21, but you can own one legally at the age of 18. And if you're asking, oh, well, I'm 18, 19, 20, you know, how can I get a handgun? It has to be gifted to you, which is kind of weird. It's a little loophole, but if a member of your family or someone 21 older, whatever, they can buy a handgun, and if you're 18, have a FOIA card, they can gift it to you and transfer the firearm to you and have it legally be yours without you having to purchase it. Now, it is illegal to give someone over 21 money and have them buy it for you. It's kind of sketchy, but I do have this gun legally. It is registered to me. It's been transferred to me. Yeah, so I did get this in last May. I'm 20 now. I got it at 19. I have put a lot of rounds through this, and I've yet to have any problems with failure to eject, failure to go into battery. It's never jammed on me. Every round that I've put through this gun has fired perfectly. No issues, no jams, no holdups. It's been a very pleasant gun, one that I'm proud to own, and they're not that expensive. If you go on the Ruger website, it does list the MSRP at around $525. I got this particular one through a shop, just a local shop in Illinois, and it was, if you pay with cash, it was $430. With tax and everything, it came about to about $465, somewhere around there. So it's not a bad price, especially for the quality that you get. This is a very, very well-built handgun. When I was looking at purchasing a gun, I was looking a lot between Glocks, and Ruger had just released this, so I was kind of excited to see what it was. And I probably would have gone with the Glock. The only problems that I had with the Glock were the handguard wasn't as comfortable for me. Glocks have a wider profile with the grip. I wasn't too pleased with that, and also the price. Glocks, for the same kind of quality gun, I'm not saying like either one's better, for the same style, polymer handgun, very nice built, 40 caliber. Glocks ran about $100 to over $100 higher than the Ruger. And honestly, I just like buying Ruger. You know, they're an American company based in Arizona. They produce very quality handguns. There's a very good standard. A lot of safety features. If you have worries, you know, they're Ruger understands that, and they implement a lot of that. It's also one thing. It's a very thin grip for a double stack magazine. It is 15+1 capacity, as I mentioned earlier. Very, very thin, and I'm very pleased with that. You also get this tack rail up front. I didn't mention that. I did have a light on here before, but it was kind of just for show. I didn't use it or anything, and it just added weight to the gun, so I removed it. Yeah, I don't really know what else. I don't really know what else to say. So there it is, Ruger SR40. Also, don't forget to check out the other videos on my channel, my other channel. I have one, Apartment 309, something me and my roommates are doing. It's pretty funny. So Apartment 309, and then of course, Eating Peaches. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. Have a good night, YouTube.
Thank you.